You can use my phone if you want. Mac. You can use my phone if you want.
Oh, that's right, I'm on here.
Hello. Okay, now our dear friend Mac has borrowed his phone that I can be on live again. So now please let me know if you can hear me. Otherwise I will need to scream, and I don't like to scream. Hello, Lovisa, so Sarah. Now please let... That was loud. Yeah, but that's from the computer, it's not the same. Hello, Veronique. Hello, Per. Yeah, now it's getting better. Yeah, hello from Denmark. Hello, Denise. Hello, Tamar. Yeah, I need a new phone. Do you think maybe my phone has water? I will.
Maybe ayahuasca.
Maybe the phone needs ayahuasca to fix it.
No, I think it needs some San Pedro.
Hello, Burhan. Hola, Carlita. Hello, Jenny. Hello, Daniel. So yes, people, we have our session number 3 of ayahuasca tokens. And yeah, we have, different subjects. Is that right? Subjects to talk. Like, for example, I was talking about the spiritual deaths that we can experience in ayahuasca. And this kind of experience really help us to get rid of any kind of fear, especially the fear of death. It's dying is actually like giving birth to yourself again. It's beautiful, and it's like an upgrading to your energy. You just become a new person, shining, full of light, and with more understanding of the things that has happened, in your life until that moment of your spiritual death. And some people think that this is process can be painful or scary, but it's not. It's actually a very easy process, and it's just hard when we fight against the process, when we resist the process. But once we just give up, then is when we start to give birth to ourselves, and it's just beautiful. Hello, Magnus. Hello, Jack. Hello, Daniel. So people, don't be shy. You're very welcome to ask your questions for today. And we have different sides. You don't have just to ask, about ayahuasca. We can talk about San Pedro. We can talk about Cambo. It's many things to talk in the spiritual realms. We are also thinking about starting to invite people that they share with us their testimonies live, and that I can kind of ask some questions to them, and that you can be part of that experience as well, and you can ask them. So I hope that when this project starts, that you will continue following us with this journey. Hello, Carl from Canada. Hello, Ana Maria. San Pedro microdosage. For what purpose, Ana Maria? That depends, because San Pedro can have many uses. And when it's about microdosing, San Pedro, I have recommended for people that has a physical illness. It can be like stomachal problems. Can be also for like MS. MS is multiple sclerosis, or right in English, yeah. Also for joints. So it depends actually for what you want to microdose in San Pedro. If you want to connect with the spirit, in the other hand, by microdosing, it's better to do a dieta with San Pedro. Because in that process, then you make a connection, because you're giving something in exchange for the connection to be made with you. We were talking about the dietas the last time, and the dietas are like spiritual contracts where we choose a plan, and also a plan choose us to do exchange. So we put ourselves in isolation, in nature, away from civilization, basically, away from our comfort zone. And in this time, we do a very profound cleaning, not only like physically, because basically you cannot do much, but also energetically, mentally, emotionally. And in this process where you're emptying yourself, then the energy of the plant that you're dieting, it's integrating in your body and becoming one with you. And you start to open your spiritual sense and start to get in touch with the spirit of San Pedro, for example. Hello, Ribo. Hello, Jack. Simon. Hello, Simon. We are in your country. We hope that we see you. Maybe not. We are leaving tomorrow. Mac. Yes, people, we are going to have a ceremony in Ecuador. When is, Mac, the ceremony in Ecuador?
19th to the 30th of September.
19. It's a 10-day retreat. We are going to Ecuador. A 12-day retreat in Ecuador. We want to invite you. From the 19th to the 30th, we are going to have ayahuasca ceremonies and San Pedro ceremonies in the mountains of Ecuador. We are going to be sharing the retreat with a very knowledgeable, what is the word? Knowledgeable San Pedro shaman that will be doing the San Pedro ceremonies by the traditional way. That is, in the night and with a mesa and all these kind of things. They have a fire keeper. Yeah, we will have tobacco cleansings, and more of what some of you already know what we have. Hello, Hopsi, I'm very good, thank you. I hope you are good also. Veronique is asking, it is possible that the energy channel is left to open after Aya ceremonies? Can that be the cause of being overly sensitive and emotional for months after the ceremonies? Actually, I have experienced some, not myself, but in other people before when I was practicing, when I was assisting other shamans, and sometimes can happen when the person has not been properly checked in which state is living, that the channel can left open. So in this case, you will need to go back and to do a ceremony to close it, or if it's, there is of course many other techniques, but I don't know, for closing the channel, but it's not like a total closing, it's what you need, because it's not about closing yourself and disconnecting you from your sensitive and emotional part, but it's just about putting in balance, that you are able to continue being in this reality and not so much in the spiritual reality. But also what helps a lot to balance these channels and are the dietas, because then during the dietas you learn how to work with the energy and how to transform the energy as well. So perhaps, Veronique, you are a very sensitive person, and this has just become more obviously after your ayahuasca ceremony, and it's just about that you learn how to balance the energy and how to, direct when is the time to open yourself, when is the time to close, and to bring your protection. And this can be learned. It's not a difficult thing, Veronique. I don't see them. And also, yeah, I see your other question says here, can that be the cause of being overly sensitive and emotional for months after? Well, what happens also is that after an ayahuasca ceremony, if you have been having a really deep experience, you will continue processing things, and the things will continue manifesting in your life until you are not finished with that. It's like sometimes the medicine even can come back, and we can feel, even if we have not drank the ayahuasca, that we are under the effects of ayahuasca, and this is when we have not finished a process. So then what we need to do is just to find a safe space where we can allow ourselves to look what we need to look, what we was not able to confront inside of us, and what we can do to change it. As soon as you acknowledge what is, things start to change. Jack is asking, when I was trying San Pedro, it took me more than 4 hours before the effect came, but it lasted 16 hours. The experience was beautiful, but the coming down was very hard. Like having a very heavy flu with high fever and joint H for 24 hours. Is this normal, or have I just taken too much? 600. Okay, normally, Jack, I don't know about like the dosage. Like I don't work like by like giving people like 660, what you're writing, like 600 centiliters. I work by reading the energy of people, and the energy of people is not connected with how tall you are or how big you are. It's connected with how open you are, or how many blocks you can have, and how much your mind can interfere. And if you have been feeling or having this experience after San Pedro, normally when you get like flus, this is a cleaning that your body is doing, and San Pedro is helping with that process. And also, energies, before they become like illness, they can gather in the joints are the bones. Yes. Yeah, they can gather there. So what San Pedro was doing was basically releasing all kind of energies that could become later in time for you a problem. Veronique. Yes, Veronique, we can talk. Mac has been informing us that you have been passing through some difficulties. We can arrange to have a Skype on private when you have time. I will be able to do it on Tuesday. And you can just write me also on a private message, and we can arrange the time for do that. Hola, Diego. It's people from Peru joining also, from Iquitos, from the shamanic market of Iquitos. Hola, Diego. Del pasaje Paquita. Hello, Ana Maria. The dietas, Ana Maria, the minimum what I recommend in my experience is 10 days, because it's like after the day number 7 is when you start to see clearly the process. It's like when all what is uncomfortable until that day will start showing more. Because 7 days in isolation people can handle, but when it passes that time is when things really start to happen. If you want to do a diet, I would recommend with San Pedro a minimum of 10 days, and if you want to do a good diet, 20 days will be good. Hola, Hassan. Mac is asking, can you explain more about the biological healing effects of ayahuasca? Okay, with this we have talked a little bit in some of the previous videos, and if we are aware that our bodies are energy, and what we are doing in the ceremonies with ayahuasca is opening ourselves or opening our eyes to see how this energy is working in us. And then we can see like we are not a solid being, that we are all made of energy that is just in really, really fast movement. And the healing energy that is done like through ayahuasca, it's because ayahuasca is allowing the body to open. So, for example, the music, the Icaros can do the work, arranging the cells, resetting also the system. But also to do this process is like people need to be ready to get, especially if you are suffering of several disease like a Lyme, for example, or MS. I have seen people being reset, like to zero, and being recovered from diseases that are not possible to be fixed in the medical system. And this is just because we work kind of in a, what will be molecular level, in a molecular level, and where you can put the things back to the origin, and even make it stronger so it will not happen again the same. It's like our bodies are like machines, and through the years that we are having in life, and all the things that we put inside and that we put outside, like emotions or food or thoughts, we are overcharging or making this machine to overwork, and that's when we start to get ill. And that's why it's important, to be aware and to have cleanings, not just in the energy, but also physically, to maintain our bodies and our energy in good conditions. Jenny says, when I took San Pedro in Peru, I have a terrifying experience and also non-stop vomiting. Jenny, I will need to ask you, what the shaman that you have been drinking has told you. It was your first ceremony. It was in the night. It was in the day. How many people was there? What are your medical conditions? It's a couple of things that I will need to ask you before I can answer better this non-stop vomiting, because this is not a very common thing actually that happens. When I see people like this continually vomiting, is because they are kind of taking the energy of everybody around them or of the place, and they are kind of cleaning that. And unfortunately, some people is very sensitive to this, and it's like they are choose to do this process. So sometimes, like in my ceremonies, I need to puke a lot for other people, but I have experience dealing with this, and I know, like, for people that is not experienced in cleaning this kind of energies, that can be very, very difficult and, of course, terrifying. Jad, Asad. Yeah, and also your ayahuasca ceremony was the same. Yeah, then it will be, what I'm feeling in this moment is if in both ceremonies you have been just feeling ill and purging a lot, is because unfortunately you have been doing the cleaning for all the people that was there and for all the place that was there, and that was something that the person that was there should be checking and not letting you doing that work, because when you see somebody that is starting to take energies, then you need to protect that person. So probably this was a irresponsibility, that's the right word? Mm-hmm. A responsibility from the place that you have been, or the person that was conducting the ceremony, because this should not happen. Sad. Do you know Don Lucho in Cusco? Yes, I know Don Lucho in Cusco. He's a great shaman. He actually was the shaman that gave me permission to start working with San Pedro, because when you start working with these plants, you need a confirmation to start working with San Pedro. I have lost his contact because I have never been in Cusco. I met him in Iquitos. So if you have some information as to how to get in touch with him again, it will be really nice. Mac is posting remember our upcoming retreats. Our next retreat is in 2 weeks in Spain on March 17 to the 19th, and we're still having places available. It will be in a beautiful community called Crystal Inn. Balsa. Is there a chance to stay in a trip of ayahuasca forever?
It's in your DNA.
It's in your DNA. Well, we have, DMT inside of our bodies. But yeah, like I'm here with the Tai Tai Inti team, and yeah, they are agree. Like, is your choice? Yes, they're there. Hello. Hello. You're in the darkness there. Yeah, it's your choice, but also there are some people that needs to be checked if they are in the right conditions to take ayahuasca, because people, for example, that comes into my ceremonies that has been heavy marijuana smokers, it can have so many blocks that when ayahuasca enters in the system to work and to clear, it's like a big impact or shock of energies. How I will say, like crash, a big crash of energies, and this can be too much for the brain, and people can get into psychotic stage episodes. So yeah, it's important to all the time, if you are going to attend a ceremony, that you are very honest about everything what you have been doing and putting in your body, that you don't put on risk your health, and also that you don't put on risk the work that healers are doing and the reputation of the plants. Because remember that every time a person has a problem, it's never the fault of the person coming there, but it's always the fault of the plant. It's ayahuasca, it's San Pedro, and it's dangerous, and blah blah blah. So we need to be, in both sides, facilitators and participants needs to be very honest about their intentions and about if they know what they are doing. So people start to be responsible, and that's also the first step for your transformation, to be responsible for what you are getting into. And for the facilitators of ayahuasca, to be prepared, because to have people in our ceremonies is a big responsibility. It's the souls of people that are coming to be healed, to find healing, to find comfort, to find answers. And it's a very, very delicate process that we should not be playing with. Somebody is asking me about the ayahuasca churches. Well, I cannot really say much about that because I have never joined any of the ceremonies. I have just heard, but I don't like to talk about what I hear. I would like to talk about the experience. So if in any time I receive an invitation to go, for example, to one of the ayahuasca church, I think Unión Vegetal. What is the other one? Guys? The ayahuasca church, the names? These two famous ones. And Santo Daime. Yeah, I have never really joined them, so I cannot really get an opinion about that. I guess like if they are doing something good and they are training themselves to do it, and they have found the way to call attention, I don't know, or approval from the government, then it's good. But if they are not doing with the right intentions, then, well, that's like, I guess, for everybody, that is not good. Hola, Papa. My father is online. Wow. Max says, what can a person do when they are in ceremony and the medicine effects are very intense? Oh, that's a very good question, Mac. Sometimes when people come to ceremonies, it can happen that the first times can be very intense, and because you have never had this kind of experience, you can get a little bit frightened, but always it's important to find a position where you are able to breathe, and that you are able to let the energy to flow. Because sometimes people contract their bodies when they should be doing the opposite, like allowing their bodies for the energy to flow. Also to drink water, because the water will help you all to clear all kind of blockages that you can have, like basically to purge it, to puke it out, and to listen the Icaros, to remember your intentions, why you came there, and most important, to remember that it will pass. That is a couple of hours, and that is an opportunity for you to check what you came there to receive, the answers that you are looking for, and just that should be, your goal, and your motivation needs to lead you and bring you on focus. So focus, breathing, finding a comfortable position for your body, drinking water, listening to music, relaxing, trusting, opening, don't fight it. And listen also to the people that is guiding you, the recommendations that they are giving to you. Thank you, Neil, for your nice words. Sebastian. He said, I tried magic mushrooms a few times, and about 2 weeks after my second trip, I woke up in the middle of the night and I saw hundreds of bees in my room. I got scared and shouted and turned on the light and realized they were not there. Also, several times after these trips in the night, when I wake up, I feel like I'm about to start tripping again. It feels like at the beginning of a trip, but I don't get any vision. Does this mean anything? 2 weeks ago, you have tried mushrooms. Well, if the mushrooms keeps coming into you, like I was saying before, is because you have still something to work. It's something that you have not finished yet. And normally when we see bees, you say that you saw bees? Let me read again. Yeah, so yeah, the bees actually are very, very good spirits, because they are creating one of the most wonderful superfoods that we have, that is honeys. And honeys are made from the flowers. And the flowers in nature are the plants that has the highest vibration. So they are basically arranging, or want to arrange your vibration. Once that you get into a higher level of energy, because the honey is golden, the pollen they took is golden, they are kind of gold also. And the golden energy, if you see in spiritual paintings, like most of the saints that are painting, they are kind of have a golden energy around them. So it's good, it's positive. If it comes again, find a comfortable space, maybe, and if it's in the nights, put a relaxed music, lay down on your bed, have water, and go and look inside what still need to be worked for you. And it's nothing that you need to be worried. Just if you have resistance and if you are afraid, then you will have problems. But if you don't have any fear and you don't fight the process, then you don't have to be worried for anything. Hello, Karin. Hello, Yasna. Hello, Ron. Meron is asking, it's okay. Good thing to do a couple of months after chemo. What is remission? Being in remission.
When it's going away, when the chemo, when the cancer is in remission, so it's becoming smaller.
Yeah, Veronique, I think it will be good to ask a doctor how long take for the body to let all the chemicals from the chemotherapy to go out. And then it's possible to do an ayahuasca. And also, to check what kind of effects has this chemo, for how long this chemo has been done, what is the reasons. And always, checking before with, in these cases, with what the doctor can say about the process of the body taking out this, and the second effects as well. Hello, Marta. Hello, Niels. Mac is asking if I keep entering into the same situation or visual space in a ceremony and I cannot get past it, no matter what I do and I'm doing something wrong, what I can try to do. Okay, this is what we call a loop. Sometimes in ceremonies we get stuck in some place. This has happened to me, and normally what I do is just to give up. I stop fighting, trying to go out of that space. I just let it be, and as soon as I let it be, it changes. Jean. Hello, Jean. My smoked DMT experience was intense. Enough to scare me from trying Ayahuasca. This felt wrong. Yes, Jean, this is not good, your fear. Because one thing that is important to remember is that there is a huge difference between DMT and ayahuasca. DMT is just a molecule that is part of ayahuasca. And when you take DMT, you are taking DMT in 100% of purity. The DMT that is in ayahuasca is 0.5%. That means that that's enough to make you, like a small thing, a resonation with what you already have inside. The ayahuasca has the DMT balanced enough that you can be not in control, but that you, what will be the word when you're not in control, but you're flowing?
Free.
Yeah, like that you're free to experience. In DMT, what happens is like you go so fast and it's so short. It's like you go in a machine that will bring you to a place that you don't know. And yeah, wherever you go, you have good luck if you land in a good place, and if you land in another space where, fortunately, it's not very long. But it's important, to difference between drugs, because DMT is a drug, and medicinal plants, what is ayahuasca. And ayahuasca, as I say, has the DMT imbalance. It hears like balanced, yeah? Balanced, like it's 0.5%. DMT, when you smoke, is 100% pure, and it passes through a laboratory. It's an extraction that you do. Ayahuasca is just a tea. And the time also of the ayahuasca ceremonies goes between 3 hours till 5 hours, and it's a time where you can go in the process, go outside of the process, and that you're still aware of what's happening outside of you. In the DMT, you don't have time for this. You're just there, and whatever happens there. And that's why you can get frightened or scared, because you just appear somewhere. So it should not be a reason for you to get afraid of ayahuasca, but to perhaps be more responsible of what you're doing, and more respectful also, because these are things that we should not be playing. Adrian, hello Adrian, hello Balsa. Do you plan to come to ex-Yugoslavia or somewhere in Balkan? Yes, actually I need to go to Slovenia to pick my luggage. But not for having ceremonies. But maybe, I can take the opportunity and do both. Maybe I go to Ducambo while I'm in Slovenia. But I'm going and answering. Why you're laughing? Hello, Sebastian. Ana Maria. Ana Maria say, I saw my daughter several times in a dangerous situation. Though she's dead, this happening repeatedly in 3 ceremonies. I trust eye spirits, and I want to hear your opinion on this. How long ago your daughter has been passed away? And if you feel like sharing exactly what you have seen in the ceremonies, then I can tell you better. And when you share your vision, don't tell me like this is what I believe, what I feel. Just say what you have seen without interpretations of your mind or your feelings. Just exactly how you say it, so that I don't have any filter from you, and I can give you a better explanation about. Mac. Oh, my leg is sleeping. Okay. Are all shamans the same? Can shaman be specialized in any type of work? If so, how will you explain the type of work you do in ceremony? Mac, what do you ask me that kind of questions?
People want to know.
People want to know. Okay. Well, even though it's ayahuasca, and basically the training is kind of the same, but the process for everybody is different, because of course we are different persons, and we have different weaknesses and different strengths and abilities. no, not all the shamans are the same. I think as our personality brings a difference, I guess, in the work. Our intentions and what we, what we want to do with this work. We want to help people. We want to get known. And what do you say? Can shamans be specialized in any type of work? Yeah, shaman is like in many other professions, like you have in the medical system, you go and study general medicine and then you get specialized in some things. So some people, for example, is very skillful in doing exorcisms in the ceremonies. Some other people is very skillful in doing operations, healing diseases. Some people are more like skillful, I don't know, holding just a space, but not really being able to help people in their process, but just making the space safe. Yeah, I don't know what more examples I can give, but yeah, shaman can be specialized in different works. It's also, some ayahuasca shamans, they work just by singing. There are some shamans that they work with their hands, that they tell people stuff, and that words can help in their process as well. I think the skills that we have inside it gets clearer and clearly as we work and as we continue our learning process. And it's different for everybody, because also every person that comes, it has different needs. If this work will be, the same thing for everybody, then we will not have so much diversity. But we have, so many different kind of problems, so that we need to have many different kind of skills also to face or to help people. Niels, do you have any tips to drink ayahuasca regular, not being sick straight away? That's for you, yeah? It's a personal question from Mac. Do you have any tips for drinking regularly and not being sick straight away? Well, I will suggest you to don't drink such a big cup in the beginning. It's not about the quantity. You can drink the same in small steps, and then you will not feel ill. Yeah, to be humble. Ana Maria says, I saw her being hit by a car, and I also saw her gravestone, pretty heavy picture for me and awareness. Okay, Ana Maria, I think I will ask you that we go on private to talk about this, because we need to spend some time to talk better. Niels, does every shaman work with the same spirit helpers? I met a few cute ones. Finally, I have some helpers right now. No, not everybody works with the same, spirits. There are different kind of spirits. There are the spirits from the nature. You have the spirits from the crystals, from the elements, the ascendant spirits that are not physically here. But they come when we need them. It's what we call angels, for example. But it's important to know when we work or when we have support from spirits that they are coming from the right place and that they are coming from the life and the love. Because also dark spirits can heal. So always, to know what kind of spirits are wanting to help us, we need to differentiate the vibrations of these energies when they are coming. Veronique, in my last ceremony, I have the spirit of a deceased college that visited me, entered me repeatedly, made me feel what he had gone through during his last year, and wanted me to pass on a message to his wife. What's your experience with this kind of experience? Yes, this can happen, Veronique, because remember when you take ayahuasca, the meaning of ayahuasca is the vine of death, and basically what we are doing is entering in an opening state where ours is kind of a death, but not really, where your spirit is allowed to enter in different dimensions and spaces, where you can also, meet not only spirit spirits like from the nature, but also from people that is close to you. They can be alive or they can have been passed already, because remember, the spirit is eternal. The body is one thing, but the spirit is eternal, and we can have still communicate. And perhaps you has been open and choose by this spirit to give the message, and just try to do it, and you will find, you know, if it feels right for you to share it, the message that has been given to you. I think it's good that you do it. Niels, butterflies, animals, and an Aya shaman who passed away may contact small steps. Okay, that's very good, Niels. Pero Mag is writing there down. It's not more questions, so I will advertise the events then. We have our next retreat. I was posting that we are going to have an event in May in Peru, but this has been canceled. We stay in Europe to continue working because we're receiving some invitations. And in Peru, the next retreat will be in Cusco. It will be very profound experience. Cusco is a very powerful place. And I guess a lot of people want to see Cusco also, and you know, to connect through ayahuasca with Cusco. That is something that I'm looking forward to do. And this retreat will be on July 15 to the 24. And for more information, you can just check in our Facebook page, Taita Inti. Okay, people. If you don't have more questions, what time is, by the way?
45.
20 minutes less. Then I want you to know that you are beautiful, that you are worthy, that you are able to have the life that you want, that you are the creator of your reality, that don't let any fear, any doubts about yourself to stop you to being who you are and to go where you need to go in your life. Be brave, be courage, believe in yourself, and give love to yourself. And then all other things will unfollow by that. Love is the key for everything, and first, most important love we need to have is the love for us, for our own existence, because we are a manifestation of the consciousness. And if we don't love ourselves, it's like saying the conscious, you know, we don't love them. So everything starts inside of us, and then it's manifest outside. Hello, Luis. Sebastian is asking. About 15 years ago, I have a very deep depression. I was very introverted and could barely speak and keep everything inside me. At some point, a lot of thoughts of my past starting to come up in my mind. I realized that a lot of things that I have suppressed for years, but I also started thinking things that were not true, like people didn't like me or wanted to hurt me. If it's okay for me to try ayahuasca? Yes, Sebastian, it's good for you to try ayahuasca. But you need to first check what are your medical conditions, to set more clearly your intentions. You want to learn, you want to continue healing, and also to see, you know, what's the right environment and the right shaman for you to take you on this journey. Don't do it alone, and especially for when it's your first time. And it's just a beautiful journey with ayahuasca when we are open for it, when we are brave, when we have decided we have you know, a note of suffering and pain and we want to change, or when we are ready to see what else is available for us in this life. Thank you, Veronique. Hola, Luis. Okay. My parents are kissing in front of me. Can you believe these people?
Are you still alive?
What?
Are you still alive?
I'm still alive. Yes, I'm still alive. I was just asking, like, time to say goodbye is not more questions. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. I wish you all a good night. I will start to do these talkings every Sunday, and we keep in touch. Maybe for the next talkings, I bring a subject to talk about it, maybe like spiritual deaths. So I prepare a little bit, or about healing diseases, also having testimonies with people on live here. So be prepared, because now every Sunday at 8 p.m. we are going to start doing this kind of stuff. And it's really funny, you know, to be online and reading you. And also I find it that we can connect in a different way, and by sharing we grow. That's my philosophy in life. We don't have to keep things hiding or in secret because somebody else can get better with that, or, you know. No, the knowledge is for share, and as we share and we grow, we can also find transformation, and we can make of this planet a better planet. What is all the point about this work also. Hola, Alexandra. Niels says, not really a question, but an experience. Like, she showed me who is Niels on his full potential. Like, I transformed him in half man, half white wolf, and then she made me sing. The stuff that happened then, oh yeah, was magic. Like, I could bring the heavens in the ship space with every breath that two people start the process. Also, the forest economy is super on my list. Okay, Niels, I hope you join us then in Cusco. Yeah, it's nice, it's beautiful, the transformations that ayahuasca bring us. And yeah, what you experience, you know, sometimes like when the animal spirits get in touch with you, like the wolves, of the jaguars, of the eagles, are just, you know, a way for us to understand how we are all connected. And not just between humans, but between every thing that is part of this creation. Thank you, Niels. Enjoy also. Looking good in that kitchen. Yes, it was the only good spot with light to sit here, because the lights are not working so good, and the rest of the house, as you know, is very cold. Hello, Charlotte. Christian. Christiana, yes, I will post this video. We are trying to organize, like now I post, this is the live chat number 3. So you will find like now in front in order these videos. And also, because in my page I'm posting several things, so the videos can get lost, but the videos will be also available in our Facebook page, Taita Inti. And one more time, I invite you to check our events. We are going to be in Spain next week. We still have places available. We are going to be in England, Cornwall. Yeah. It's very nearby Glastonbury, that is a very spiritual town in England, and it's also one of the most magical places that I have visited last year. We then have Ireland. We got Spain first, and then we've got Ireland, and then Scotland. Ireland, Scotland, yeah, Spain, Ireland, Scotland, England. In May was programmed this trip to Peru, but it's not happening. We're going to stay here in Europe, so you can check also in Taita Inti page what are the upcoming events, and look for our program. We still have time in our calendar for November. If you want to become a hoster, we have the volunteer programs if you cannot afford to participate in the ceremonies. And we do Kambo also during the retreats, the tarot readings. We are 2 women working. And pretty soon I will be introducing the other beautiful shaman that I'm working with, and feel very honored to work with her, and that the universe has put us together. And I feel that it's time that she's released on public. And then Soraya came. Okay, people, I love you so much, and we are in touch. And see you next Sunday. Have a good night. Bye.